Out of over 500 private schools in Kathmandu metropolis, it has been understood that more than 300 might have failed to provide scholarships as per existing regulations. The metropolis has released a list of 342 private schools, urging them to provide evidence of the scholarships they have provided, warning of invalidating their licenses. Good evening, I'm Sarah Sapsanama. Let's begin with the headlines of the hour. The government alleged of including unauthorized individual during budget formation. Opposition accuses of favouring interest groups. Finance Minister denies allegations. Summer heat attributed as one of the reasons for increasing number of road accidents. At least 127 deaths reported in the past 3 weeks in 1,796 road accidents. Government begins legwork to add European destinations for migrant workers. Experts call on the government to put efforts in enhancing workers' skills as well. And Church Boys United wins Marty's Memorial 8 Division League in their maiden appearance following a goalless draw against 3-Star today. The club still has a match to spare. Finance Minister Prakash Charan Mahat has clarified no unauthorized individuals were involved during the budget discussions in response to allegations from opposition lawmakers at the House of Representatives. Minister Mahat has claimed that the individual whose presence has been questioned was called in for typing and entry purposes. CPN-UML, Rashtriya Swatantra Party and Rashtriya Prajatantra Party, among others, had demanded the government to furnish an answer regarding the issue. Lawmakers of the opposition parties had also demanded a probe into the matter if the government failed to provide satisfactory answer. Discussions on the budget have begun after the finance minister furnished his answers. KP Sharma Oli, chairperson of main opposition CPN-UML, had alleged that the budget aimed to benefit a few interest groups and has said that the current budget does not represent Nepal and Nepali people. Meanwhile, lawmakers from the ruling alliance claimed that the budget was based on facts and suggested to add a number of few programs. The House meeting, which was previously scheduled to begin at 11 a.m., was pushed to 1:30 p.m. by House Speaker Devraj Khemere after opposition parties prepared to obstruct the House meeting. Government's budget this year, like the last one, met with controversy as allegations have been made that unauthorized individual Ramkrishna Shrestha was included during discussions which should have been confidential. In response, the Customs Department has said Shrestha's presence was not unauthorized, saying that he was contracted some 3 months ago. It may be recalled that a probe committee was formed last year after allegations were made that retired non-gazetted officer Raghunath Khemere was included during discussions to revise tax rates. This also led to the resignation of former Finance Minister Janardhan Sharma, although he was given a clean sheet later. Similar allegations have been made this year as well, as the presence of Ramkrishna Shrestha has been brought to question from all quarters. Shrestha, who retired last year after 30 years in the Customs Department. The department has added that despite his retirement, Shrestha had been contracted again 3 months ago to support in preparing draft for new Customs Act, and that the department itself had sent him to Finance Ministry. Based on the budget directive, discussions on tax rates are held between Finance Minister, Finance State Minister, Finance Secretary, Deputy Secretaries from Customs and Internal Revenue. Questions have been raised as to why a contract-based employee was included solely for typing instead of existing public officials. Now, increasing summer heat has been attributed to the increase in the number of road accidents. Data from the past 3 weeks shows at least 127 individuals have lost their lives, 1,867 have been injured in a total of 1,796 road accidents. 1 out of 3 officials of Council for Technical Education and Vocational Training (CTEVT) who were on board an ill-fated vehicle that plunged into Sunkoshi River on Friday last week is still missing. 127 individuals have lost their lives, while 1,867 have been injured in a total of 1,796 road accidents. 16,486 accidents were reported between mid-March and mid-September last year, the period which is generally considered summer season, while between mid-September last year and mid-March this year, 18,017 accidents have been reported. Temperatures across the country have dramatically increased in the past few weeks, with Tarai region recording up to 41 degrees Celsius. On top of the heat that directly affects passengers and drivers, journeys are also made risky by dilapidated condition of the roads. In many road sections, drivers and passengers are unable to open windows for ventilation due to dust outside. Heat is also believed to result in drivers falling asleep during long-distance journeys. Overheating of vehicles during long travel also increases the risk of road accidents. The scenario has called for adequate refreshment centers along the highways and breaks for drivers in between to prevent road accidents. In our Public Voice segment, today we've asked people in several provinces regarding ways to prevent accidents in highways. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
चालकले सवारीको स्पिड कम गर्नुपर्छ, सरकारले खल्ला खुल्ली पुर्नुपर्छ।
सब चालकलाई बसाएर सम्झौता गराउनुपर्छ, तब त चालकहरूको दिमागमा घुस्छ अनि त्यसपछि बल्ल अनि दुर्घटना कम हुन्छ।
बाटो फराकिलो हुनु पर्यो, जनचेतना जाग्नु पर्यो।
चालकले नै सावधानी अपनाउनु पर्छ।
ड्राइभरहरूले सीट बेल्टहरुको युज गर्न पर्यो।
सवारी साधन धेरै कुरा आउँछन्, ट्राफिक पुलिसहरूले अलि कन्ट्रोल गरिदिनु पर्यो।
पैदल यात्रीले नि गाडी आएर हामीलाई अब खिच्छ कि यताउति हुन्छ कि भनेर सोध्नु पर्यो।
ट्राफिक प्रहरीको उपस्थितिमा जनचेतनामूलक कार्यक्रमहरू आयोजना गर्ने,
सीट भन्दा बढी मान्छे नहाल्ने,
राजमार्गको स्तर उन्नति गर्न एकदमै जरुरी छ।
पुराना गाडीहरूलाई मर्मत गरेर राम्रो गराउनु पर्यो।
चालकहरूले पनि पूर्ण रूपले ट्राफिक नियमको पालना गर्नु पर्यो।
द्रुत गतिमा हिँड्छन् तिनीहरूलाई अलि न्यून गतिमा हिँड्न पहल गर्नु पर्यो।
ट्राफिकले पनि ट्राफिक नियम पालना गर्नको लागि सहजीकरण गरिदिनु पर्यो।
माफसै गरेर चलाउनु भएन अनि आवश्यक परेको ठाउँहरुमा आकाशे पुलहरुको व्यवस्थापन गरिदिनु पर्यो।
The government has begun to explore European destinations for Nepali workers. This comes 38 years after migrant workers began going to Gulf nations and Malaysia officially. An amendment in the directive is expected that will raise the number of foreign employment destinations for Nepali workers to 178. Experts meanwhile opine the government should also focus on enhancing workers' skills to meet the demands of global market. Currently, there are 111 destinations that Nepalese workers are applying through various institutions. The government is also preparing to remove the requirement of a recommendation from Nepal's embassy in the destination country to ease the application process. The provision was first implemented some 5 years ago after cases emerged where migrant workers were either swindled or were employed against their contracts. The government's preparation to officially open up to European job market comes after workers began taking illegal routes for European countries. Meanwhile, voices in favor and against the government decision have emerged. While some have opined this would open up more opportunities, others have argued that it would further fuel exodus of youths and make the country dependent on remittance. Based on government data, around 2.2 million Nepalese are abroad for foreign employment, more than 80% of whom are in Gulf nations and Malaysia. More than 100,000 youths leave annually to pursue education in Europe and United States. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
But before today's question, let's take a look at the results from yesterday's poll. Yesterday, we asked you, why has the arrangement been introduced which allows those without an academic background in teaching subject to appear for teachers' license examination? 46% voted for option A to enhance quality, 33% for B, lack of human resource, and 21% for C, wrong intentions. And here's today's question. What do you think of the government's decision to raise the number of countries for foreign employment? Your options are A, unable to provide employment, B, to raise remittance, and C, to create opportunities. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. It's time now for the sports update.
Sports news brought to you by Lakshmi Steel, Nepal may guaranteed #1 quality.
Church Boys United, that debuted at the Martyrs Memorial A Division League just this season, have claimed the title. The club became the winners after a goalless draw against 3 Star today with a game in hand. Heading into today's match at the capital's Dasrat Stadium, Church Boys needed just 1 point to ensure they lived this season's title. Both the sides failed to produce effective chances throughout the match, but the draw was enough for Church Boys to collect in total 45 points. Meanwhile, 3 Star, that has been winless since 14 matches and faced the risk of relegation as the club has 29 points from 25 matches. In another match at the 8 Division League, 3-1 Army and Nepal Police have played a 1-1 draw. The result helped police climb in fact to the 3rd position of the points table. In the match played at Anfa Complex in Sadobato, both the goals were scored in the first half. Army took the lead in the 2nd minute as Dinesh Henson found the net. Police equalized in the 39th minute through Ahmed Hizazi. With 1 point from today's draw, Police have leaped over Jalak Hill to climb to the 3rd position. The former champions have 38 points from 25 matches, while Army are in the 7th position with 31 points. Kumultar, that faced the risk of relegation, have kept their hopes alive of staying at the 8 Division League with a 3-1 win over APF today. In the match held in Chassel Ground, Kumultar had taken a 2-0 lead in the first half itself. Meisuke Olomo opened their account in the 13th minute through a free kick. Olomo doubled Kumultar's lead in the injury time of the first half. Within 10 minutes of the second half, Stephen Benong widened the lead to 3-0. Sunny Shrestha scored a consolation goal for APF in the injury time. With the win, Kumultar have climbed to the 13th position with 27 points from 25 matches. Friends are at the bottom of the table with 26 points. And up next is the weather update. That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good night.